Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today is not a run-up episode. We haven't just lost our mind and decided to just get in there with the old $1,000 bankroll. We're playing High Stakes Tuesday. That's right, playing some $5, $10 no limit Texas Hold'em on ultimatepoker.com. And that's pretty much it. I actually don't really know most of these people. I recognize this Not Tom Locke guy, and I recognize Zastin, but besides those two fellas, I don't really recognize anyone. Let's see if we can win this pot with the nut low. There we go. Nice little start. Who needs it? Nut low. That's right. So, yeah, don't know any of these opponents really. I recognize only these two, but there are currently two 5-10 games running right now, and the other one has actually just this self-made 90 guy and Zastin in it. Everybody else is not at this table. So not a lot of information here as to what our opponents are. So we'll start out slightly tight. You know, tight to our definition doesn't quite mean tight to the rest of the world. But we'll start out kind of tight and see what happens, go from there. Make some reads, maybe make a hero call. We'll see. I'm kind of in the mood. Definitely in a splash around type of mood. I had a crazy day today. Check this out. I had a non-exaggerated was like on a calendar. I had a 1 o'clock meeting, a 2:30. I had an unscheduled 3 o'clock meeting, and then I had a 4 o'clock meeting. What? Business land, Jay Carver. Las Vegas, land of opportunity, you know? Just got to get it done. Tomorrow, the same thing. I have another crazy schedule tomorrow. And actually, this entire week is just crazy because of the UFC Hall of Fame game. Obviously, our two run-it-up warriors are joining us this week. That's exciting. Got that happening. And all sorts of fun stuff going on. Lots of business things, gambling things. It's great. The lands of opportunity. Las Vegas, Nevada. Who knew? I didn't know. If you didn't see yesterday's video, you should go watch that. But, you know, if you don't want to, I don't blame you. It was a good video, though, I thought. Yesterday's video was pretty good. So you should check that out. Some 1-2, no limit, Texas Hold'em. You know, it was pretty good. I don't remember what happened, but I remember we won. That was sweet. Did some sheriffing. I remember that, too. All right, I remember a little bit of it. I also remember... Nice little comment there. Although I keep accidentally muting it. That would be sick. Yeah, I decided to run it up playing 5-10 no limit Texas Hold'em. You know, I would actually be okay with taking shots like that and just like losing $1,000, except for the fact that I feel like you guys would not be happy with that. I think the whole point of run it up, we can show that consistently we can have fun, make money, run it up. If I play 5-10 and lose $1,000 and we're back down to $800, people will be sad. I don't want to make people sad, you know. I don't think that would be the best message to send, you know? Yeah, I decided to say F it. I'm just gonna run it. Nope. No. No, it's not a run it up session. That's cool that you know what run it up is though, but that would be just decide to fire it in there. Just all right, you know, I don't know how much he knows, but you know, I'll just say nothing. I think I've said enough. Should I give him an XD? I think he should get him an XD. I'll give him a little. That's right. Now he knows exactly how I feel. I gave him a little X capital D, and now he's like, I get it. He's just joking around. Well, all right. I'm not even gonna talk about it. We tried, and then we failed. In the future, hopefully, we'll try and succeed. That's all we can say. $20 down the drain, but it's all right. It happens. These are some high-stakes pokers, you know? What can you say? Sometimes you just have to make it happen. Right. I suppose that is the plan. But at this point, I was talking about it today because I met some run-it-up fans today, and that's right. In Las Vegas, it happened. And we were talking about it, and I was like, I don't really think anyone at this point, I think everyone gets it at this point, you know? We're going to hang out, play poker, we'll have plenty of random things happen. I'm not in a rush by any means, you know? Is anybody in a rush? We run it up, and I go, all right, that's it. I guess I'm going to go open a laundromat or something. No. Run it up, you know? We got to run it up. We're not in a rush. It's not rush it up. Whatever you say, Jay Carver. I guess I'll answer this fella. All right, Jay Carver, read some questions. All right, let's read some questions. I'm excited. The Dear Jay Carver questions have been great lately. This new round of Dear Jay Carver questions has been great. I'm excited about answering these questions today. If you've got a question for me, dearjcarver@gmail.com. Let me know what's on your mind. What's troubling you over there? What's got on your mind? And don't send me a poker question. You can if you really, really feel like you want to. But if you just send me poker questions, it's kind of insulting, right? It's like you don't think I'm smart enough to help you with other questions? Come on. What if you're about to have a confrontation with somebody and you want some good lines? Be like, hey, I'm trying to fight back against a bully here. I want to put him in the cage. Maybe I can help you out a little bit, Maybe. I can't promise anything, but it could happen. Let's find some questions. I'm gonna do like a little cut because I looked at the top like 8 last time. I answered this question. Sorry, I don't know how you got back in there. Oh no! Speaking of which, I did not hit. Speaking of which, I did not hit gold. Oh my god, I'm very upset about this. But I'm not even going to explain it if you don't understand it. But I was at 95 LP, and you have to get to 100, and then win you have to win your best of 5 series. And then I was at 95. I played a tough game, and I won, and I got 2 LP. And I was like, 2? What the heck? I only had a certain amount of time to play. And then once I hit 97, I was like, well, I better go on a heater. And then I didn't. I had like a guy who was like, time to feed, and then just ran into mid lane and died a lot, and that didn't help us win. And then another guy who had no shot, he had no chance of what he was doing on our team. He might have been worse than my mother would be. And that was it. I had 90. I lost 3 for each game, and I just said, I guess there's just no way I could do it. I just didn't have the time. I only budgeted a reasonable human amount of time, and it wasn't enough. It didn't run good, and that was that. So I feel fine. Though. I've worked so hard on my League of Legends game that I'm gold at heart. I might not be gold on the game, but what can you do? I'm gonna call here because Pocket Sevens, etc. This guy could be like, whatever. Pocket Sevens. How do we fold? $55. You got it. Let's see 3. All right, not the worst 3. Going to start with a check and then call. Don't think anything else makes too much sense. I call your bet. Let's see a turn card, dealer. Bink! So the question is, should we check or bet? I opted to do the checking route. All right. Now, here we are. Given that this guy didn't bet on the turn, I really doubt that he has too much. But he's not going to bluff if we check and he has ace-queen, right? So I think it makes more sense to wager something like this. And if he happens to have a pair, decides he wants to call, that would be fine with me. I assume we got lucky to win this hand. I don't think Pocket Sevens were the best hand given how fast he called in the turn, but I guess it's possible he could call off the hand like Ace-King or 2 4s, something like that. But I would venture the guess that we just turned the old set ball. But, All right, 6 and 7 offsuit. Oh, yeah, big yes. Tossing in that green chip for show. Let's see it flop. Dealer. Keep the heater alive. You can't be on a heater if you fold. Gonna be tough to keep the heater alive on this flop, though. Just saying. Even for our little wizardries, this is a tough one. Checking around is the first start of this. All right, maybe we win. You gotta imagine. All right, I'm gonna try it. It's a little thin. I'm definitely granting that this is very thin, but I think this might work. This first guy probably doesn't have too much, and if the second guy had anything, he would have probably bet on the flop, right? You would think. He could definitely have some jacks that check back. He could have some hands that he's being tricky, checking back and then calling or doing something on turn. But I think this works often enough. And if it does work, I'll feel so good. And if it doesn't work, I go, okay, whatever. Hoorah! Hoorah! That's right. Get out of here with your whatever nonsense you had, 6-7 offsuit. We just hold on and then just find our little arrow shot, right? That was a pretty good arrow, right? That's a pretty good archer position, right? You guys knew exactly what that was. I didn't even have to give you an example. I could have just went like this, and you guys would have just known, right? That's right. At least all the true running up warriors out there would have known exactly what I was doing. We're very in sync, I feel, most of the time. I think the heater is going to have to continue here, defended with the old ace and 8 of spades. Probably going to end up calling if someone bets, but maybe I won't. We'll see what he wagers. Checks around. Okay. I believe I'm going to check and allow this fella to try to bluff. He can also bet if he has his beat, which is fine. If he checks through, I'll be a little sad beans over here, but I don't think that happens all that often. I mean, come on. You check back on flop. If you're giving up, you're going to bet now. We've checked you twice. How do you not? Checks through twice. Oh, my God. These nit bitches. So the question is now, if we bet, will we get called by worse? I can't possibly fathom how. But, all right. I usually bet this. If you had looked at the whole range of things, I bet here quite a bit, like 60-something% of the time. But I thought, maybe there is some chance, all right, we must win this pot. What? This was not my favorite hand of poker. Heater stays alive, I'll point that out, but not my favorite hand of poker. I thought at one point one of these kids would decide they wanted to try to win the pot. Instead, they were all just like, doing something else. No one wanted to try to bluff. All right, I guess. I mean, odds are we weren't going to make... It doesn't make a difference. We should have bet maybe on the turn or the river, but not the turn. Should have bet the river, maybe. That's how I feel about it. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, didn't. Get over it. Could play this end. It's possible. It's possible. I'm playing on... okay, I guess we just fold. Dear... No. No. Huh. Oh my God, that is a lot of questions you wrote. You wrote me like 10 questions. I can't answer 10 questions, That's too dominating. Although you have some good questions on that list, though. Okay. I feel like if I have laughed that much, I have to read the question. Otherwise, you guys will be mad at me. Dear Jay Carver, great videos, yada, yada, yada. I like that you actually wrote yada, 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 so I didn't have to just skim over it. Dear, I just, I appreciate the love. But if I make a habit of reading the love, I feel like it becomes, it ruins the flavor, right? It's a secret private message, isn't it? That part of it? Anyway, that's just my feelings. That's my theory, Great videos. My question has to do with this mysterious crew you always talk about. Who are they? Why are they always out of town? Do you pay them a lot? Are they going to film you going to the store and buying a leprechaun outfit? They did not. I feel the fans must know. Thanks, Steve. Well, Steve, the crew, they were the crew that shot Bracelet Hunting over the summer and Full House. They were the crew that filmed over the summer, and they don't live in Vegas, so they're never in town. They're only in town like once a month or so. Do I pay them a lot? I pay a decent amount, actually. Yeah. I pay a good amount of money, actually. But, they're wizards, geniuses. They're exactly the king of the production castle. He helped build the whole set you're looking at. Got us all lit beautifully. He taught me how to use everything. He gave me a lot. I've learned quite a lot from this fella who's got... Also, he's like a YouTube genius. He's got like 4 or 5 videos that have like millions of views. He's done, he's exactly the kind of person that I like giving money to because he teaches me a lot. He does great work, and I trust his decision-making process. That's a pretty strong person to have as a team member. So he is the wizard behind the curtain of all things Run It Up. So not surprised to see the little check through game happen here. If that is what happens, looks like it might. Happy to call. Backdoor flush draw, open-ended straight draw, bottom purr. Call. I assume Zaston's probably going to end up check folding. Would be weird to see him do anything else. Bink. Bet. I felt like betting here would look kind of suspicious. We could be maybe wanting to do this with a hand like King Queen or Two Hearts, something like that. On this Ace River, I'm slightly concerned. Let's check, give him a chance to bluff. If he has a hand like Queen 10, he's probably not betting anyway, right? So let's check, give him a chance to bluff. If he has King Queen, we lose the minimum which is very narrow. Don't expect him to have King Queen. He could have us beat, but, let's be real. Chop it up. Free rolling. I like how we played that hand, I think. I think we played that hand very reasonably. We should have re-raised all in on the river. That would have been sick. That would have been so sick. What would he have done? Oh, he would have put him in the cage so bad. I mean, realistically speaking, I think it's fine to just say, call. But, it would have been sick cagery to just know it and just say, get out of here. Get out of here with your chopping straight, I actually think I'm gonna put the JJ carvers on the side for a little bit. Let's just chat, hang out, I feel like I'm in a chat mood, let's just hang out. We'll just wander through topics and just discuss as they come about. Doesn't that seem like a better idea? I feel like that's the mood that I'm in these days, at least these minutes. So we min-raised it up here on the button, which I probably should raise larger given everything, but, laziness has dictated minimum raising. Gonna start here with a wager. I think $30 is sufficient. We could have the best hand, very possibly. We could not have the best hand, that's also possible, but better hands will fold than us. Maybe if he has a hand like 2 3s, a 7, slightly better hands may actually just fold. Against this little check raise, we haven't seen this guy do this before. This could definitely be an attack. This guy could be trying to steal our $30, and that annoys me. That annoys me greatly. However, I'm not really sure yet, so I guess I just say, I'll keep my eyes on you, kid. Huh? How sick would that be at a live poker table? The guy just check raises you and you just stare him down. I'd be pretty scared, I think. I mean, I wasn't able to watch myself, but I felt like you guys were kind of scared, right? Let's call. I don't ever usually do this, but I've decided. Let's do something different. Sure. I'm in a weird mood, like I said. Once in a while, somebody to get tricky, and oh, look at this little thing we've done here, Changing it up with 5-10 no limit. Pocket kings, I just call. A smooth call. That's right. That's what they used to call me in high school. It's Jason Smootherville. That's actually not true at all. The only nickname I ever really had in high school, there were a couple of guys that called me Jason Sums, which I really wasn't super fond of, but it was fine. It was fine. It was like, okay, that's fine. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with it. It was a fine name. But I never really had any nickname until I got Jake Carver. I'm going to bet here twice because we have a pretty good hand, and I would like him to give us some money. Because, if he has a 10, we're getting it all, which is great. We have all the kings, which kind of sucks, but if he has the last king, he's probably not folding. And if he has a 10, oh yeah, we're going to get all of the bucks. Okay. If our opponent checks, we will be wagering. I feel like this guy either has a hand like King Queen, which would be kind of hard pressed to call, or he has maybe like aces, something like that. Maybe he has Ace Jack, Ace Queen, which would be fine. If he has just a 10, that would be cool. Let's bet 380. Oops, nope, let's not. All right, 370 is fine. Okay, I'll accept 370. Sure, 370 Dara. How you feeling over there? Feel the flow. Queen Latifah over there don't know what to do. Oh yeah, how'd you guys like that little dance I did there? to represent insecurity and unsuredness. King's full. King's full of tens. All right. Little tricky Pike of Kings and just got us all the gold, right? That's right. We took all of the gold. Gave him the full claw treatment. If only this was a run it up, we would have $3,000 right now. Oh, that would have been sick. Welcome to Run It Up. The Run It Up where Jay Carver loses his mind and plays 5-10 and then wins $1,000, you know? Just has no regard for money whatsoever. No respect. no respect. No respect money. That's right. Just no respect. But unfortunately, I had respect and, didn't do that. But when I was in Australia last time I was in Australia, which was, I was a wee lad. I was 19, 18, maybe 20 if I was, maybe 20. But I think I was like 19. That would be my guess. And there was a dinner with a whole bunch of people who I didn't know at the time that well, but I think it was like the Tony Dunst, Lucky Chewy. Don't know this guy too well. All right, I guess we just call. Could check raise, but I think calling is fine. We have Queen High people. Queen High, 7 kicker. Check. He might just shut down because, this is a kind of a scary kind of board here, If we bet, will he fold better? He might fold better Queen Highs, and he'll definitely fold, like, maybe even King Highs. Like, King Queen might even fold to this, right? It's possible. We could have just Ace 7. Why can't we just have Ace 7? I think that's totally fine. If he has a hand like 2 7s, I don't think he ever folds. But I'm hoping he folds a hand that's like maybe slightly better than this. And we actually have the best hand here a good percentage of the time, right? He just has like 10-9 offsuit and just gave up and we just win, which we could have just checked and then made a decision. That would have been fine as well. I'm not really sure what to make of all this tanking. I mean, if he's really thinking about it, we're probably not ahead. He's like got like Jack 10. I don't think we're winning this hand. Pair of 4s. Don't think that hand is folding. The fact that he tanks so much with that hand though makes me feel like our bluff was definitely correct. Because if he's tanking with King 4, then what's he doing with King 6? He's probably not calling, right? And I'll also point out to all of you who freaked out over the Queen 7 call on the flop there, I'm just saying, mathematically, take a look. It was fine. Anyway, what were we just talking about? Oh yeah, Australia. So I was in Australia, in Melbourne. That's right. I was in Melbourne when I was 19, so like 7 years ago. And there was a dinner with a whole bunch of people. Tony Dunst, I think, was there. Lucky Chewy was there. I think King Dan was there. But I wasn't really friends with any of those guys yet, whereas like these days I'm pretty good friends with King Dan. Of all the guys in that group, I'm pretty good friends with Dan, a couple other ones in that group. But I didn't really know anyone. But a couple of my friends were there. It was like a 25-person dinner. And I didn't drink at the time, and I ate very simply. I still eat very simply, but I didn't drink at the time. And I still don't really drink either, but at least I drink a little bit now. But so I had no alcohol, and I ate a cheeseburger. The total sum of which was like $20. And at the end of the dinner, everyone was like, hey, let's play credit card roulette. The game in which poker players love so much, everyone puts their credit card in some sort of collection, and people usually, for the fun of it, people will usually pull out a card. Ace Jack was tanking or Jack 10 was tanking? I think Ace Jack was tanking, right? I don't remember for sure, though. But if people pull out cards, you're removed from contention until there are 2 cards remaining, and then when the last 2 cards are remaining, somebody pulls out, left pays, right pays, and goes left pays, and then it goes, okay. So then left ends up paying, whatever it is. So people are eliminated until there's just down to one winner, and then that person pays the entire bill. So technically speaking, if you're, understand how gambling works, if everyone eats the same exact amount of food, then it's just completely neutral gambling, right? Because eventually everyone will pay the same rate of dinners, and it's just a matter of like convenience / whatever. However, the way to game this system is to eat a lot, spend a lot, get a lot of food, so your equity is a lot higher than somebody like me. And the right thing to do if you're a guy like me is just to not play, because my dinner cost $20 and I could pay just $20 and walk out of there a happy fella. Instead, I didn't want to be a nit bitch, so I was like, all right, throw my card in there. Next thing you know, I'm down to Heads Up for a $2,200 dinner bill in Australia, of which I paid for a cheeseburger, and I lost. So I ended up having to pay. And wasn't that a life lesson for the kids back in the day? I had a cheeseburger that cost me $2,300 in Australian dollars in 2006, 2007. So yeah. The good old days, good old days of terrible decision making, and I think my point of the story was about. I don't remember what the point of the story was, but it was a good story though, right? It was at least like a 7.2. All right, if you're young and don't know not to gamble on things like that, it's probably even like higher. You know, that'd be a lesson for you, like a parable. You know, just pay for your bill. Oh, what a flop! What a flop! I'm Def's in the gambling mood, so if this fella bets, we are giving him the business, that's for sure. Not like it's much of a gamble with the hand we have, but, you know, we definitely are putting our foot on the gas pedal. He could have ace-king, in which case, you know, we're, like, flipping or something. Checks back, okay. I'm definitely betting. He could definitely have a hand like jacks, tens, ace jack, ace 10, queen jack. He could have ace king or aces. Both of those are reasonable, in which case he calls, but that's okay with me. And I think that's pretty much how I feel about that. All right. Got the job done. So yeah, that was my Australia story. I was going to pull a question and I was like, I still played credit card roulettes in the future after that. It didn't even like burn me too badly. But that's how I met a lot of people. That was my first interaction, was paying for everyone's dinner with having had a cheeseburger. That's right. That's a real true life Jay Carver story. Excuse me. Real true life Jay Carver story. I don't think I ever lost a big credit card roulette ever again though. That was my time. That was my time to pay. And you know, that's it. Just like what's the TV show where Sopranos, where they give Chris the bill all the time to pay for food, right? The new guy has to pay all the time for food and such, right? That was what that was. This is just a fine re-raise. You know, we're re-raising here not too often. We're never really re-raising too often with hands like this, so once in a while it's probably fine. He just folds or he calls, and then our hand looks like we have ace queen, ace jack, pocket tens, whatever, you know. Instead we have 6-7 suited. Kind of deceptive. Tricky Jay Carver in the building right now. Yes, that's right. I guess we just fold. Maybe not. I'll wait and see. I'll hold my decision depending on whether or not it folds to us. All right, well, I raise it up. $25. 2 blues and the red bird. How do you fold them? And we have a queen on the button. That would just be ridiculous. Gonna start here with a bet. I got myself a 3 straight, a 2 flush, 2 flushes if you're really optimistic. Okay. Oh, we've turned to 3 straight. So what are the chances this guy will fold a better hand than ours? I don't love them. All right, let's check back. King might let us win this pot. It's possible if our opponent checks, we may try. We beat 9. No, don't beat 9 anything. I think we actually will just give up here, right? I think if he has like a 5, I'll feel dumb, but anything else, I'll be okay with it. Well, we made a sick value bet on the flop, right? We had a sick flop value bet going on there, and then the rest of it just didn't work out too well for us. So, all right, let's pull a viewer question. They've been so good, you know. They've been so amazing, you know. I just feel like we gotta. All right, let's pull some questions here. Oh yeah, def calling, huge call. Okay. I know you're not a legal expert. That's a good way to start an email to me. Interesting. Okay. Oh, lots of words. Oh. I don't know if you know how these Dear J Carvers work. This particular one is like, I don't know if you know how these work. Okay. Okay. Dear J Carver, points to writing that. A few episodes ago you said you will try to post daily episodes except Saturday and Sunday. That is true. Today is Monday, and you haven't released any videos yet. Well, today is coincidentally Monday, but not Monday that you wrote this, I would guess. I don't think today was when you wrote this. What should I do with the 20 up to 50 minutes of this spare time? I'm sorry. I feel like I've never committed to time and day. I've committed to Monday through Friday, and I love this Monday through Friday thing, and we're going to stick with it. It's a great thing. I have wanted to do streams very badly, and I eventually will do streams again, either on the weekend when things get less crazy in like a month or so, or we can switch a day out, and I can do a stream on like Thursday or something like that. But I like this Monday through Friday schedule. I feel like it's just the right mix of content, consistent, makes me, I feel relaxed. I get to relax. I get Saturday off. It's a nice combination. I'm pretty happy with that schedule. And I feel like you guys are too. I haven't heard any negative things about it. As far as not releasing videos, I try to release videos by like 11 a.m. Pacific time these days, but, I don't commit to it. Usually by 12, or 12 or so, my time, there's usually videos out. But I know like the UK fans over there, you guys, it's like 8 p.m. your time when videos come out. So maybe I should make the videos release a little bit sooner, but we're in the ballpark. They're going to come Monday through Friday. Trust me, I won't have forgotten. Suggestion, wouldn't it be easier to pre-record episodes? They are pre-recorded. This is the day before. They're almost always the day before. But and I could schedule them, but I like waking up. I wake up, post the video, do all that post video work. I don't mind starting my day off that way. That's the routine I've created these days. I wake up, I spend 2 hours, hour and a half maybe. I spend an hour and a half like making sure the video is annotated, posted, described, all that other stuff. Usually posted on Facebook, facebook.com/jcarverpoker. That's right. And then I usually go about the day's business, which usually lasts about 8 hours, something like that. Usually goes like 12 to 5 usually out and about, and then 5 to 8 at home, and then video time. And then spend that last like 10 to 12 time working. And then 12 to 2 is, play some games, do some other things, relax if I'm lucky. That's the daily day life, So I do pre-record these videos, in case I guess that was how I started that path. They definitely do get pre-recorded. They just, sometimes they're not always, we're not a machine over here, I'm just one man. There's a one-man operation pretty much, That's, there's a couple other people who are involved, of course, but when it comes down to it, it's a one-man operation as of right now. Soon to change, I know. Soon to change. I need a British employee. I need a person that has a UK accent, so I can learn UK accent, so I can properly do UK accent impressions. I don't even need like a specific region, I just need like a general can do it accent, Although the other day, superfan Rory McDonald introduced me to the Yorkshire accent, which reminds me a lot of the woman from Game of Thrones, the wildling from Game of Thrones, reminds me a lot of that accent. I think that's actually pretty amazing. I'd love to learn that one particularly. So if you do anything with production or any other tasks that, and speak great Yorkshire English, dearjcarver@gmail.com. Hey, you never know. Right. Nah, not for me. Oh, nope. I feel like this game is sadly winding down. We'll probably play another Orbit or two. I have. Okay. All right. I like this question. This is a good question. Don't know what your name is besides sent from my iPad. But hey, thanks for sending me something from your iPad. Dear Jay Carver, I have observed that your style is not conducive to a lot of big laydowns. I folded a full house on camera not that long ago. What episode was the one that I folded a full house on? I don't remember. But it was the day. Oh, it was Leprechaun Day. It was Leprechaun Day. I folded a full house and called with King High. I believe both correctly, I'll point out. And yeah, that was a great little moment in Run It Up history over there. I was very happy with that session. In a leprechaun outfit, no less. Come on. I get big points. Huge points I think I get for that. That was a challenging little day there. Well, this is weird. So 25, 40, and we are not folding because we got ourselves the ace and the queen. $130 looks right to me with the ace queen suited. This is likely a misclick and he'll probably just fold. But, we have ace queen suited. What are we supposed to do? Call? Don't think so. Let this guy just in with his random trash? Nah. That ain't me. Anyway, so tell me, Jay Carver, what do you consider your greatest fold? P.S. Run them shits up. Love, sent from my iPad. Thanks, sent from my iPad. The greatest fold that I believe I ever made. I don't really have too many stories of this, as you might be shocked to hear about. I have plenty of stories of calling and other things, but the greatest fold I ever made, a lot of the times, you don't see their cards, so it's tough to say if it's the greatest fold or just like a bad fold, so it's tough to really know. But there's one that I definitely remember. That was at the Bellagio tournament last December, and it was day 5 or maybe even beyond that. I'm not going to play this guy heads up. I'm not going to even start this whole heads up play process. So, all right, that's a flop. Open-ended straight flush draw. All right. Let's see if we can just rip it. Let's see if we can just effing drill it, right? You guys realize when I fake curse, it's like a joke thing, right? I'm not cursing for a reason, right? When I say things like heck and hoot. Okay. I'm just making sure. That was like one of the clearer moments of Run It Up. I just want to make sure you guys know. It's not, it's part of the thing. All right, cool. I'm just making sure you know. All right. Not going to start this whole heads up session, but this guy is probably going to quit too. All right. I didn't even need to quit. That's right. We won poker. Hey, congratulations, everyone. We won poker. How can we celebrate winning poker? Bell? That's pretty celebratory, right? I don't really have anything else here I can celebrate with. Harmonica? Can we do a celebratory harmonica? I don't have a celebratory harmonica song prepared. I don't know what to tell you, but I have a harmonica. That's cool. I don't really have anything else here that I can celebratory do. I don't have anything else for you. That was it. Thanks, Sir Dumpsalot. Not quite. You'll want to reevaluate that math there, sir. What were we just talking about? Oh, my greatest fold. Bellagio last year. 27 players remain. It was like day 12 because that's how they do it over there. I was short stacked. I was a short stack coming in the day. Pressure was on. And I ran it up. I played some hands tricky, doubled up through Antonio, actually. I called with aces, made a full house, check raised all in. He called me with worse. It was great. I was on a heater, riding strong, like 13, 14 players left, first place, like $1 million. And it was like a 7-handed or 6-handed table. I think it was 7-handed. I raised under the gun with pocket kings. A fella named Tom called, and then a couple other people called. Lucky Chewy was in there as well. And flop came deuce 5, deuce 6, 7. It was deuce 6, 7, rainbow, no flush draw. I bet 90,000. I had like 1.1, 1.2 million. I bet 90,000. Blinds were like, I want to say they were like 8-12. That would make sense, right? Maybe they were 10-20, something like that. So I bet 90,000, and this guy who I felt like I had a really good read on just shoves for like $1 million, basically my stack. and it folds around to me, and I just really believed that he had either deuces, sixes, sevens, or 6-7 suited. I just said to myself, if he has a hand like nines, why wouldn't he just call? Why would he just decide to do this here? Like, I just thought that based on how that player had played, based on how I was playing, based on everything together, I was just like, I felt like he had me beat. And so I folded, even though it was crazy. And I can't believe I folded. And later, way later, he told me that he had jacks. But my friends that, I see all the time say that that's just a thing people say. When those situations, they just go, overpair. Like, I don't know for sure if he was telling me the truth or not. But my read is that he was telling me the truth when he said he actually had jacks. But it was a very big fold for me, even though it was wrong. I just had to go with my gut, I remember telling Daniel Negreanu about that, and he was like, good fold, kid. You show him how you do it, And I was like, all right, good. So at least it made sense to one person in my life, if not my online friends. Should we, I can't do a turn chat. I didn't take the lens off that camera. By the lens, I mean the hat that I have sitting on it. All right, I guess we'll full screen, though. Let's go to full screen. All right, so we didn't run it up today, but I did make $1,400, so that's pretty sweet. If I could make $1,400 every day while making these videos, that would be pretty amazing. If you enjoyed High Stakes Tuesday, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video. Hey, Jay Carver, more money to give away to the fans. That's pretty sweet, right? That's pretty good, whether you're selfish or, completely not selfish. It's a video worth liking, I believe, if you're into those sorts of things. Don't forget, facebook.com/jcarpoker. So many cool things coming in the next few weeks, months, forever. Running all sorts of cool things only through my Facebook at this point. And that's pretty much it for me. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I would play you out with the harmonica, but I think we've had enough harmonica for this day. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you back for more tomorrow. Very special video tomorrow. You guys will like it. I will see you back for more soon. Peace.